Hey everybody, here we are. We're actually recording at a different time of day. We've been doing a lot of mornings, but now we're doing an evening podcast. But I guess we should say what we're doing, right?
Well, I think we should first tell our friends, Bula!
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 Which is Fijian for
hello.
Hello, absolutely.
So, real quick, we're going to duck out so you can see the skyline.
Mm-hmm.
In the back is the Sky Tower in Auckland, New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what the podcast is today.
We'll talk about Auckland in a few
future,
days.
But we just had this great view.
Mm-hmm.
It rained all day while we were here. It was miserable.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the sun came out. All right.
So we had to come down and take advantage of this beautiful weather, and we're coming out. And
done.
okay,
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks. Our room is made up for the evening. So
Our housekeeping staff just left.
We are ready.
Let's do this show. Oh.
So, thank you. So, it's Postcard Today with Amy and
Jeff. I'm still Jeff, right?
Still Jeff.
Still,
and I'm still
just
Amy.
Jeff. Just Jeff. All right. So, what are we covering today, Amy?
Today we're covering a couple different days that we had before. We had some sea days, and we were in Fiji,
Yes.
Suva, Fiji, and also Bay of Islands, New Zealand. So
Yes.
that was our first day in New Zealand.
Correct.
So in Fiji, we had an excursion.
Yeah, I made an unscheduled purchase.
We did. Isn't it beautiful?
The Fiji rugby team,
Is pretty well known, evidently.
as a very small country,
Mm-hmm.
did take down the New Zealand All Blacks.
Ooh.
So that was huge in the rugby world. So I
And
got
it's a
this
few-
cool shirt,
Yes.
and
Yes.
yes, totally unscheduled, but we found it.
Yes. But we started the day with a hike in a national
Park.
rainforest.
Yes.
And it took us down to a waterfall, or a pool, a waterfall that
Yes.
went into a pool.
It was a series of little waterfalls that cascaded down
Yes.
from an upper pool to a lower pool. But for some reason, we were only allowed to swim on that particular day in the lower pool. So that's where we went first to avoid some of the crowds.
It was hot.
Oh, God, it was hot.
I know we say that a lot, but it's
My
hot
glasses
everywhere.
are cooked.
Oh, they're fine. It was hot. And we were hiking, and we had appropriate hike wear on, and
And swimwear so we could jump in.
Yes. So nobody else was really interested in swimming. I was shocked.
As hot as it was, and they even told you at the beginning to wear swim clothes because
Right.
at the end,
and
you
they were
have a
going to
place
allow
to
you.
change.
Yes, they were going to allow us 40 minutes to swim. We jumped in the water. It was cold.
Oh, yes. Well, again, it's fresh water coming down from the mountains.
That's true. I bet it was 70 degrees.
70,
75.
all right.
Maybe. It was cold water, but it felt amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. Jeff had to drag me out of it. I did not want to go.
Well, the guy told us we had to go.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And right as soon as you jumped in, it really was like a bowl.
Yes.
Right around the edges, it was
Shallow.
You could get a toe hold on a rock once in a while, but 2 feet in, it was deep.
So we didn't
And
know
you
that
couldn't
at
see the
first
bottom.
because they had one rock the guide pointed out after we're already in. He says, no, from here you can dive because the water was 10 foot deep.
Right.
And I'm going, well, that would have been way better than sliding down on my butt.
Yeah. Those rocks were a little rough.
A little rough.
And I tried to climb up the waterfall a little bit, but
It was pretty powerful.
it was. It kept blowing me away. So.
I mean, so this was a series of tidal pools or little pools, and the last waterfall couldn't have been more than maybe 8 feet. But the water coming off of it, you could just see it pushing the current back. And
Yeah.
Amy's like sitting there like, losing on a treadmill to try to get there.
It was fun. I was enjoying every minute of it.
Huh.
Absolutely. Did we do anything after that? We just took the bus back to.
No, we have a story to tell about the bus after we hike all. So we went downhill first and got to the swimming hole first, which means 3/4 of the trip back was uphill.
Yes.
And I thought, we're going to be nice and cool. Our clothes are wet with cool water. Yeah. 5 minutes later, we were like steaming. So it was kind of
dried
crazy.
really fast.
It dried, yes.
Yes. So we get to the top, and we're waiting for the hikers to get back, and they finally get back, and we all pile on the bus. We're ready.
And guy turns the key, and
nothing.
Nothing. So he said, could everyone get off the bus and help us push start it?
We're going to have to push it.
And this isn't a mini bus. This is a full-size bus.
It was like a school bus.
No, it's a big tourist bus.
Yes, but the window's open. So you know what that means.
No air conditioning.
No AC, yes. And the seats, most of them were
covered in plastic.
Yes, the seats were covered in plastic. This is how big glory on it.
So,
Hence, it takes the spirit. It is kind of a... It is
if you can
personal.
hear the horn, that's our boat signaling we're leaving
Ours?
port.
Oh,
Yes.
we're
leaving port.
We're well out.
Yes.
Yeah. So I got a little video of the fellows pushing the bus.
And fortunately, there was a little downhill. And as soon as the guy hit it, everyone released. So it tells me they've done this more than once before.
My God.
Because it was pretty organized. All the other tour guides, everyone's coming in, and we've got these people that are 90 trying to push on the crew. And my buddy and I, Bob, run up, and we're like, okay, they've got hands everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there, catch one of our older gentlemen.
In case they fell.
Kelsey fell back and didn't get stampeded.
And we made it back.
We did make it back.
We made it back. Now, there's another excursion where I guess it was a longboat, and they were all in this longboat, and it
capsized. Capsized with 10 people in it. Fortunately, everyone had PDFs on, personal flotation devices.
And supposedly no phones were lost. So
Nope.
Nothing.
They were pretty close to shore. So once they abandoned it, the boat actually got shoved on the shore, crashed. The engine fell off somewhere deep, and the boat was broken up into at least 3 sections. Like,
These poor Fijians, they're just trying to make a living.
I know. So coming back, they all had to get in the one remaining boat.
Yes. And the bridge instructor was in charge of all of them, so I got to hear a little more about that. But yeah.
Glad I wasn't on that tour.
Me too. Yeah. And I didn't have to push, so,
Yes. Okay. What else did we do?
Then we just came back and did our regular evening cruise type stuff. Our trivia team is
Kicking ass.
Yeah, it is. We are the ones
We
to
won
beat.
again today.
Yeah.
We only missed one, and whatever the Colorolo phobia of clowns is, I couldn't
stupid
get.
Question.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, there is a lot of people scared of clowns. I don't like them.
Yeah, but
Should just
does there
punch
need
them.
to have a name?
They have that big red nose. It's just asking to be punched.
Okay. Yeah.
Ugh.
Punch. Wonk. So then we had a couple days at sea after that, because it's a little bit of time between Fiji and New Zealand. It was a little bit of a rough ride.
Oh my goodness! So the weather started getting rough, and our teeny
boat
was tossed. So we had 11-foot waves. Now, the first day, it wasn't as bad. They were just long rollers. But somewhere in the middle of the night and the next day, they just started coming.
Yeah.
And it felt like we're hitting icebergs because all of a sudden you hear this thump on the boat and you're waking up in the middle of the night.
Hopefully I wasn't a whale.
Yeah. Or do we have to run and find our
PFDs, huh?
our life vest? Yes. And then sure enough, it settled out and was kind of wonky and fell back to sleep.
The second day wasn't quite as bad as the first, but it got rough again that evening.
Yes.
I did hear there was a couple that said this was their first cruise ever and they are never cruising again because of that.
Wimps.
Now, I get it. I mean, there are times when it's bad, but it wasn't bad. I mean, I didn't think it was bad. They did drain the pool.
Yes. So I am drinking a New Zealand Shiraz. And
Not
a couple.
Australian Shiraz?
Oh wait, it is Australian. You're right. So a couple we ran into were off on a wine tasting today, and they were somewhere at lunch, and they had a New Zealand tawny port. So they bought me the little teeny, what is it, 330, 350 centiliter
Yeah, it's like
bottle.
the personal size.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as soon as this is done, you know what I'm
We're
going to open
moving-
next.
moving to that.
Moving on to port.
I'm done for the day. So
All right.
I had mine.
Um,
So yeah, but
Isle of Bays.
Yes, then after 2 days
No, I'm
of
sorry. The Bay of Isles.
Islands. Bay of Islands.
Bay of Isles. Bay of Islands. So it's this huge bay that was a caldera of a long ago extinct volcano. And I heard two different people come up with two different numbers. There's either more than 1,000 or just under 1,000 little islands in this bay. And it looked like a sailor's delight. You could just get on a boat and travel these little places and do a picnic.
It was green
Oh,
and lush.
and cool. It was 78.
Yeah, that day
Beautiful.
was absolutely beautiful. I wouldn't have minded it being a little warmer.
Well, that's because you did this stupid thing underwater. How many dives did you do?
I did 2 dives, and the water was 70 degrees.
Yes.
They said it was going to be 63.
So that's a plus.
But it was warm. Yeah.
Not quite
honestly,
as warm as 80.
I got to tell you, it didn't feel badly. I was enjoying it.
One or two wetsuits. We had this discussion.
One wetsuit, but
Okay.
it was 7 millimeters.
Ooh.
So it was like
It's nice and thick.
this thick.
Yeah.
Hard to put on.
Oh.
And once you have it on,
It ain't coming off.
no. In between the two, I just left it completely on and zipped up. Now I have enough internal heat that
There you go.
because a wetsuit will, if you leave it on in between, you will tend to lose your body heat more quickly.
And
Not a problem.
you'll
for
lose
me.
a lot of water,
Yes,
sweat.
yes.
Yes.
Not a problem for me. So,
Good.
um,
What did
yeah.
you see on this dive? You had some great things.
a lot of kelp. So the
Yellow.
kelp under the water is completely different. I saw some really big, were they snapper?
Yes.
Okay, really big snapper. Probably, 3 feet. 3 feet big.
Yeah.
I saw some other fish. It's just completely different fish. Of course, no camera because,
Right.
but
Yeah.
you know.
That's another story. Well,
Exactly.
we already told that story.
Though,
Not yet.
I did my first cave.
Yes, cave dive.
Yes, and I have to say I was a little claustrophobic going into that cave. I could feel myself breathing faster. I kind of maneuvered myself so I was the back of the line, and then I just kind of went out faster. This guide, I thought the dive shop was fantastic. I really liked them. I would use them again. The guy.
A shout out to Kat.
Yes, shout out to Kat. They met me at the pier. They drove me across the town. Somebody else was at the other pier, walked me down to the boat. They had everything I needed right there on the boat. So that was fantastic.
Yes, I agree.
And the guy who owned it, very knowledgeable, wonderful. They did a wreck dive. I'm not wreck ready.
Or certified yet.
Or certified. So I did the reef dives. So the wreck people went off first, and then we waited for them to come back, and then we did our reef. Then they, when we're done, then they did their cave and other things, and then we went down and did our cave and other things. I was there with, oddly enough, no Americans on the boat.
And the only woman.
No, I wasn't.
No?
No, I wasn't the only one.
Okay.
No,
the only
there
one that
were-
spoke English.
I was the only woman over 60. I guarantee you that one.
Yeah.
Everyone does speak English.
So
that was
Amy
nice.
is still the babe on the boat.
The babe.
The youngest.
I don't know about that.
Donna's not here, so
Well,
you're
shout out
the
to
oldest.
Donna.
You're the oldest.
Postcard Donna. So yeah, we did the cave. She was showing her flashlight and showing us things up on, and lots of fish, gorgeous. I was just like, get me out of here. Yeah. So yeah, I swam around a little bit, waited for them, and
Got out of the tunnel.
got out of the cave. So I
Right.
don't know if I'm cave ready.
Oh, well.
But that's, yeah, so.
So while Amy was diving, I went around the little town, and it was...
Paihia.
Paihia.
Paihia. Okay.
Paihia, something like that.
Paihia.
AI. And it was a beautiful little town. It had a very dense downtown area with the bars, the restaurants, all the shops. And it had sort of a Habitat Grace feel. I would
Yeah.
just wander in stores, and people were addressing their customers just like if I go to the Glyph, everyone knows my name.
Sure. Yeah.
And so that was kind of fun. And then I'm walking by, and I see this dive shop. And I'm going like, that looks like the place Amy went. So I walked in. There's this young girl, probably young 20s, definitely under 25.
Yeah.
And I said, do you have a boat out now? She goes, yes. And I said, I think my wife's on the boat. And this girl looks at me. Oh, you mean Amy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You knew me.
like she's reading my mind. And she goes, well, she speaks English. And
Well, she's, yeah, of comparable age with you.
Yes.
So she put the, yes,
two and two together. But it
Yeah.
was just funny to walk in and someone knew Amy's name
exactly.
at the dive shop. So you've already got a rep in town.
A rep, yeah. So when we got in, I helped to clean off the boat a little bit, and then we had to push these carts with all this stuff up the wharf and to the shop, and they started unloading. I'm like, I think I've done my part. So I went inside and I said, "You guys have Wi-Fi?" And she's like, "Oh no." So I said, "Who do you think has Wi-Fi in this town?" "Oh, probably this place." So I go walk in. I try one bar and then another, and
Right.
I'm getting this messages from Jeff. I'm texting. I'm going to upload a video. I could do it because we can't do it from the ship. It has to be on Wi-Fi.
I had not
Sure.
one, but two calls from security as they're looking, as we're getting closer and closer to the last shuttle back.
Yes. I wasn't on the last one.
No, you were on the one before.
Yes.
And they're calling me. They go, "Has Miss Amy come back, Mrs. Amy?" And I'm going like, "No," but she texts me. She's on the 5 o'clock shuttle. She should be here.
Yeah. I mean,
So obviously not being panicked. She said she's okay. I went to 5 o'clock happy hour.
There you go. Good. It does take about a half hour to upload a
It was
video.
yeah.
So when you're using community Wi-Fi, but
It was done.
Yes. I didn't want to get too far behind. So yeah.
Well, I'm sure these people are just dying to see every word we have to say.
They were wondering what happened in Samoa. Where
Right.
it was a cliff. It was a cliff hanger, right?
Yes, absolutely. So I think this is going on way too long.
Oh, I have an update. We We have word that 2 of our postcards have been received.
Oh, I thought
That's
3.
all. No, I've only
Just
heard
2.
of 2.
Okay.
Mr. Butters, thank you, Mr. Butters, for guarding our house so well.
Yes.
And Donna from Florida, who is the babe of the boat when she's on the boat. So,
There you go.
But not here. And so that's exciting news. It takes about a month, looks like, for the
Yeah.
postcards to come.
Just think about it. How a little piece of paper
Yeah.
can come from Tahiti
Yeah.
and somehow make it all the way back to an address we put on it.
Yeah.
I know mail has been solved, but physical mail still baffles me how it works.
Indeed. I think it's wonderful. Yes.
I do too.
So our postcard today is going to our good friends.
Would that be Mike and Michelle?
No, it's not Mike and Michelle.
Oh, you
Not
said
that.
good friends. Do I have lesser friends?
We have many good friends. These good friends are Sue and Rich.
Oh, I had them backwards.
Yes, Sue and
Okay.
Rich. Sue and Rich, your postcard is on its way, and I picked out one with a big fish on it, just
There
for
you
you,
go.
Rich. Yeah. Yes, and we will be seeing Sue and Rich later on their cruise.
Yes.
So, they're
So there is one couple on the boat that's doing the exact same thing we're doing, from Tahiti all the way to La Havre.
I guess.
What?
We can say we're the ending place.
That's the ending. I'm just
Okay,
saying.
not the little in-betweens.
We met a couple, and
Okay.
they're going to be there.
Yes.
And I've told them grand exploits of Fisherman Rich.
Okay. Yes.
And Joe wants to hear some stories.
Oh, well.
There you go. I'm not
okay.
going to say any more. That's it.
That's all Rich.
We don't
Yeah.
even have a teaser yet for this one.
And
But-
Sue, we're going to make sure we have calm seas for you, because Sue struggles with the seasickness a little bit.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
giving away all of our secrets.
Nope. Okay. We won't
Okay.
talk anymore.
Looks like our background behind us, we're well clear of the city.
And I'm getting dripped on from above.
So our next podcast is going to be for Auckland.
And
yes.
probably the second place.
Yeah, we haven't figured out how to say that town. Or
No,
that
it's
place.
like, it almost sounds like Rangiora again.
We'll do some research and say it
Yes.
correctly.
We'll work on that.
But we've got a pretty cool tour coming up. So, and we did some really fun stuff today too.
Yes.
So, yes.
All right. Let's
All
say
right.
good night.
Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Good
Good night, guys,
See you
everybody.
soon. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Be good. Osteo.